Okay, so I showed you before how you can change the font of a specific text on your page. So you go to Design, Style Editor, and then we can go ahead and click on this, and then go to Font, and we can choose a font here. Now let's say you went through this list here and you don't like any of the fonts here. It does happen even though there's quite a few here. And let's say you like a font that's on a different website. There is a way for you to download a font and upload it to Squarespace, and I'll show you how in this lecture. So there are three main websites that I use for fonts. I'll go ahead and include the link for those as additional resources for this lecture, so you can go ahead and click on those. One of the ones I have listed is DA Font. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how we can use, for example, this one right here, Behind Script. First thing I would do is make sure Squarespace doesn't already have it. So I would type in Behind Script and there's nothing here. So we'll go ahead and download this. So just download it to the desktop. Okay, and then I'm going to extract it. Perfect, extract it to the desktop as well. Now what you do is you go to Custom CSS. So you go to Design, Custom CSS, and then we scroll down to where it says Manage Custom Files. Let's go ahead and click on that, add image or fonts, and then I will actually go to my desktop. I'll go to Behind Script and upload the file. So this could be in a variety of different formats. There's OTF, TTF, and WOTF, I believe. So we'll go ahead and click on that. Click on Open. So now we have the font here. We'll go ahead and go back here. So the first thing we have to do is set up the font so we can actually use it. So what we do is type in font face, okay? And now we're going to actually link the font file to it. So first we'll give it a name. So font family, we'll call it, I believe it was called Behind Script. So we'll make it Behind, okay? And then we'll go to src, so that's the source, and it's the URL, open and close. I'll actually put the semicolon as well. Then inside the bracket, you just put your cursor there, go to Manage Custom File, and click on this, and it'll automatically fill in the code. Okay? So now that we have that, if we go to H1 and change the font family to Behind, we should see that it kicks in and it looks like this. Now, right now, it looks kind of weird like that because there isn't enough space. So I can go to letter spacing 1 EM. So that's a little bit too much. We can make it 0.5 EM. Yeah, that one's a little bit better. So that's what it would look like. Now, I don't really like how that looks. Not exactly what I had in mind. But again, just showing you how it is done, okay? Now, the reason I think it looks like this is because it's all capital. So let's try making it not all caps. About Us. Yeah, that looks better. Okay? So obviously I wouldn't use this font for my website because this is just a demonstration. Since my website, I want it to be a little bit more modern, I would use more like fonts that are sort of like what it was before and more like these type of fonts without serif. So that's what I would use. Just showing you how it's added though. One more thing I want to mention is sometimes you'll have it changed like this. Other times, even after you put in everything exactly like this, the font that's being used won't actually change. Now there's a really easy fix for that. You just go to the URL and everything after, everything before static, so https semicolon / we would delete that. Okay? So when you delete that, just 1 second here. There we go. So, everything before the slash. So you would delete https and then the semicolon and leave the slashes. So anytime you use custom files on your website and you find that it doesn't work, just try turning off the // Okay, the reason that it usually doesn't work is because it is being served over HTTPS, and Squarespace by default didn't have that. So now that Squarespace supports HTTPS, it's actually going to be working for us here. So even without deleting it, it'll work. Okay, so if you're not using SSL, make sure you delete that HTTPS semicolon before this starts working. Okay, so that's how you would add custom fonts. So again, you can just go here, you can go through some of the fonts here. So for a foreign look, holiday ones. So for example, Christmas. So for Christmas, you just click here and there's some very, very cool fonts here that you can use just to give your website a quick holiday look without too much work. So you can quickly change the headings to one of these just for the holidays and then turn it off when you're done. Okay? So that is custom fonts.